So what's good? This is Kupfull with Kennedi Marie podcast, and on today's show, I have a real estate agent, Miss Marquita Fowler, on my show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How
That's
are you?
good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. School is crazy right now, but
It's finals time.
I know.
But
I'm
then
trying
you
to
get a
push
break.
through. Yep, we get I think 3 weeks, 3-week break.
So hey, let's focus on that.
Yes, I'm
gonna
gonna think about that. Keep that in mind. Okay, so you are with iRealty, Arkansas. Yes, that is the real estate aid. Is that what it's called?
That's
like
a real
agency?
estate brokerage.
Brokerage. Okay, so when I was like growing up, well, still now, I see like the only real estate I know is like on HGTV, where they like make the homes and things like that. And
That's not real.
Not real.
That's not how it is in real life.
So I know that, and then I kind of learned with finances that it's a great source of investment. So I was really interested in this part. So what sparked your interest in real estate?
Well, I really just was looking at the long-term picture and the job that I had, which I liked my job a lot. I had been there 9 years, but I couldn't see myself staying there long enough to retire.
Right.
And being able to be financially sound enough to do everything that I wanted to do. So I had to figure out something else. And plus I wanted something that was flexible. Something that I could do on my own time, and the money I made depended on me, how hard I worked, how much I put myself out there. And so when me and my husband were in the process of buying a house, I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
And so I started researching. I asked our agent a whole bunch of questions. And from there, it was kind of like my interest was sparked, and it was over. It was over.
Yeah.
From there, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay. So was it when y'all were in the process of buying the house? How was it dealing with other realtors?
Well, our first realtor we had, oh God, it was not good. It was not good at all. And I was like, I don't want to deal with somebody like this. Like, you could tell he didn't have our best interest at heart.
Right.
And so needless to say, we left him and we found somebody else. And the next person that we started working with was wonderful. She was, oh my gosh, she was very knowledgeable. You could tell that she wanted us to be happy. But she wasn't going to put us in a bind. Any and every question that we had, she answered. So she was wonderful. But there are different types of agents out there. You have some that they care, like they want what's best for you, and then you have some that they want what's best for them. So.
Gotcha. So when you working in your passion, something that you love doing, it almost feels like it's not a job. It's just part of your.
It don't feel like work at all.
Really, yeah. So when you're working in real estate, it's almost like you're not working. You're doing something that you love. So how is that compared to the other jobs that you worked in the past?
Right. So all of it is hard work. However, with jobs before, it was no matter how hard you worked, you were still making somebody else wealthy.
Right.
You were on somebody else's time. It wasn't necessarily flexible. With real estate, it's very flexible. My pay, so to speak, is based on me. It's based on how hard I get out there and grind, how much I put myself out there, how much I network. So I don't have to be dependent on my boss to decide he wants to give me a raise.
Gotcha.
I mean, if I know that I got a trip or something coming up and I need to make more money, I get out there, I grind harder. So it's on me. And that's hard, but I like that.
It's kind of like accountability.
It's right. And you're doing something you love. So getting out there working harder, it don't even really phase you because you love it. So it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah, I'm sure. So when you're fresh out of real estate school, let's go back to when you're fresh out. How did you know? How did you get started? Because it's kind of like okay, they teach you all this, and now you got to actually go out there and do it. So.
Right. I was terrified, to be perfectly honest. I knew that I was going to need someone that knew this business.
Right.
I was going to need somebody to mentor me. I was going to need a great teacher. So what I did, I went to different brokerages, and I met with different brokers to see where I would best fit in, to see who would be best to help me grow and make it in this business. And I interviewed with different people until I found the person that I felt like this is going to be the one that's going to help me succeed. Because I didn't know anything. Like, you know the stuff to pass the test, but getting out there doing the job,
actually applying it,
it's completely different. So I'm so glad that I have that person that I can call, because you're going to have questions.
Right.
So that was my strategy. Find me a mentor, because I don't know how to do nothing out here. And it was totally different from anything that I had ever done. So I am grateful to Melinda Abernathy, because if it weren't for her, I don't know what I would have done, because I called her at 10:30 at night with questions. So my strategy was to find me a mentor.
And you found it.
And I found it.
Okay, so after you found the mentor, and then it goes from you actually have to promote yourself and put yourself out there, put your face on social media, and, you know, kind of interact with people. So I know that's kind of weird, because I kind of deal with that too with the podcast. It's like I have to be on social media and interact with people on there and put my face out there. It's weird. It's kind of weird
I
at times.
completely understand.
So how was that experience for you?
That was something that I am actually still getting used to, putting myself out there, because I wasn't the type of person to put phone numbers, emails, all of that stuff online. But you got to have your face out there. People got to know how to contact you. I am pretty private, but you got to open up. I mean, you got to kind of let people in so they can get to know a little bit about you and trust you enough to want to work with you. So I am still working on that as far as like posting on social media and putting stuff out there. It's kind of, you gotta share a lot.
Gotcha.
You gotta share a lot, but you do have to put yourself out there.
Okay. So when you talked about how you and your husband were looking for a home and being a first-time home buyer, so once you got your home, I know there was a sense of like ownership in having something in your name. So what does home ownership mean to you? What was that feeling?
To me, it is the biggest purchase that you'll probably ever make in your entire life, and it's something that's an asset. It's not a liability. So you have a little bit of leverage there when it comes to certain stuff, and then it's an investment. To me, it's nothing like having your own. I remember living in apartments and wanting to paint the walls. And I couldn't. And it's something as simple as wanting to paint a wall that you can't do in the place that you're paying for.
Right.
It's kind of like, really? Yeah, like I can't even paint a wall. And little stuff like that I thought about, but I always knew that I wanted to own a home. But I mean, just having your own is wonderful. And then when you're renting, I try to tell people this all the time, no matter how much you pay, that money you're never getting back. You might as well be throwing it in the furnace, burning it up. You're not getting it back. It's not going towards anything. In a home, you're building equity. So that's something that you can use later on if you need to. If you want to sell your home, you can sell your home and make a huge profit. So that's an investment, a great investment. But I know people that's rent for $1,200-$1,300 a month. That's a lot of money
to just
be thrown away. Whereas if you own that house, your mortgage payment would not be that much for that same exact house. Because of course the people that you're renting from want to make a little money. So
they're trying to make a profit. So
they're gonna charge you extra. So it's worth it. Home ownership is huge, but it's definitely beneficial.
Okay, so when you're dealing with clients who are first-time homeowners, is that kind of like the message you want them? How do you want them to just feel? Because I know it can be kind of nerve-wracking and very, I don't know, they want to be cautious and it's like stepping on eggshells. So, like, how do you get them comfortable? What do you want them to,
Well, I always try to figure out why a person is wanting to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
If you know why they're wanting to do something, that can help you out a great deal.
Gotcha.
So my first question is, why do you want to buy a home? And then I'm just myself. Like, I want you to feel comfortable with working with me. And I am never going to steer a person in a direction that I know probably won't be good for them in the long run.
Right.
And I'll ask people, that happens
Mm-hmm.
a lot with people. I'll ask people, what monthly payment do you feel comfortable with staying with them?
Okay.
Because some people, they'll go off that overall number. Like the bank may tell you qualify for $250,000. Or, if you buy a house that costs that much, your mortgage payment is going to be a pretty little penny.
Yeah.
If you're trying to stay around $1,200 a month, you can't go buy a house that's $250,000.
Right.
So, I really talk to my clients and get to know what it is that they're looking for exactly, so I can make sure that at the end of this process, they come out happy and they're not going to regret it later on, because this is a huge purchase. You're spending a lot of money.
Yeah, it is, and you want to be able to stay in that house for a while. You want that to be a stable house,
Yeah. So I want first-time home buyers to feel comfortable more than anything, because with our first realtor, I didn't feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, that makes a world of difference. So,
It's like a little wall there.
yes, so we went and found somebody else. So I really want them to be comfortable.
Gotcha. Okay, so I like that. So we're going to take a break, and it's game time with K. Marie. So the game for today is called Riddle Me This. Okay. So I got a couple riddles. I'm not good at riddles too, so I got some hints.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to help out a little bit. So, I'm just I think I got like 5 riddles to give you. We're just going to try to work through them and see how it goes. Okay.
I am bad at riddles.
Okay, so the first one is, what belongs to you, but other people use it more than you?
What belongs to me,
It belongs to you.
but other people use it more than me? Can I have a lifeline? I have
Okay,
no
so
idea.
a hint is non-tangible. I'll say that.
My energy?
That's
not right, is it?
It's
I'm not close enough.
it's something like, it's part of you, but it's non-tangible.
And they use it more than I use.
Yeah, other people use it more than you use it. But you own it. It's yours.
Is it part of my body?
That
don't sound right.
No.
It don't
It's not.
sound right.
It's non-tangible though.
Okay, so it can't be. My money. That's tangible.
Yeah, it is tangible. You said they use it more than you.
You study giving it that. Oh, I have no idea. Not tangible. They use it more than me. But it's mine. It
I'm trying to
belongs
think of
to
another
me.
hint. It's non-tangible, belongs to you. I don't know. Without giving it away.
I need you to give it away.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What did it start with?
It started with an N.
My name.
Yep. Your name. You own it, but everyone.
Oh my
uses
God,
it
now
more
that you
than
say that, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got it. So
That
you
is
did
so
better than
true.
me. Yeah, it is. It's like now you think about it, like, oh, people do use that more than me.
Yes, because you rarely call yourself by your name. But okay.
So that was riddle number 1.
We got 4 more of these to go.
Yes, we do. Okay, so David's father has 3 sons. Snap, Crackle, and what's the other son's name?
And Pop.
No.
Wait, Snap. David.
Yep. David.
When you said Snap, Crackle, I automatically thought Pop. But I'm thinking, this is a riddle, so it got to be and. Okay, yeah.
Yep. So David's the son.
It pays to
father.
listen. You gotta listen.
You do. Okay, so riddle number 3. Okay, what has so many keys but can't open the door?
A piano.
Oh, you got that one. Dang, that was easy. I should have picked the harder one. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I suck at all these. I would have not gotten none of them. Okay, so what is more useful when it's broken?
More useful when it's
I'll give you a hint if you need one.
I do.
Okay, the hint is food.
It's food.
It's more useful when it's broken.
A watermelon, a cantaloupe.
I'll say breakfast food.
An egg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. You're doing good. This is not that bad. Okay, so riddle number 4. Okay, so you live in a 1-story house made of red wood. What color would the stairs be?
There's no stairs. It's 1 story.
Okay, you got that one. I should have picked some harder ones. I thought this was gonna be hard.
Those first couple of ones were hard.
It's kind of tricky. Okay, well this one might be a little hard. Okay, so I make 2 people out of 1. What am I?
God. Oh, he did that.
Well, he did.
I make 2 people out of 1.
What am I?
A woman? Twins? No.
It's not a human.
No.
It's a non-living object.
2 people out of 1. I need a hint.
Oh,
This
what's
one
my
is
hint?
hard.
Think dressing room.
Okay.
Think
It's
dressing
like
room.
fabric.
No, what's in the dressing room when you go into the
A
dressing
mirror.
Boom. Make 2 people out of 1. See, I didn't think about it either. When I was reading these, I'm like, oh, because I was trying to figure it out myself. Like,
Okay. A mirror. Oh,
yeah. So that was.
Those were good.
That wasn't too bad.
Those were good.
That wasn't too bad.
No,
So
I like
yeah.
those. Those
So I can give you one more because I wrote a couple of extra on here. So this is light as a feather, yet no man can hold it for long.
Fire. No. Light as a feather. No man can hold it for long. Air.
Close.
Your breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you did. Well, I guess I would say that you won the game time for the day. So that was the end of game time. I hope you enjoyed that.
I did. That was fun.
Okay, so I want to talk about something that is very important that not a lot of people know about, which is credit. Which is so big in itself, just saying credit is so much. So I want to just start with, how do you build credit? How can me, being in college, entering adulthood, how could I build credit?
The easiest way to build credit, which is also one of the easiest ways to mess your credit up, would be to get a credit card. One credit card with a small, low limit, like maybe $500 limit. Get gas on it, pay it on time, keep your balance low. Always keep your balance lower than 30%. So your credit utilization rate needs to be 30% or less.
Okay.
But for a college student, that would be one of the easiest and quickest ways to build your credit. But again, if you misuse it and get your balance, your balance is too high, you're not paying your payments on time, it can destroy your credit.
Gotcha.
And it's easy to destroy, hard to get back up, just like the GPA. It's easy for it to go down, but trying to get it back up is very difficult.
Very hard.
Yes.
So so someone who has bad credit, like what are the consequences of that?
Well, honestly, it takes credit to get just about any and everything. If you want to go get an apartment, a lot of times they run your credit. If your credit is what they consider good, you might not have a security deposit. If your credit is considered bad, that's looking at you as if you're a risk. So you're going to have to pay more money. So a lot of times if your credit is bad, your interest rates are higher, you end up paying more. So you end up suffering in the long run if you have bad credit. In order to get a house, you have to have a certain credit score to get a house. So credit is one of the main reasons why a lot of people can't get a house. It's not that they don't have the money. It's not that they don't have a stable work history. It's that their credit is bad. And some stuff that is affecting our credit, some people don't even realize that it's affecting their credit. The credit is so important, and they don't teach you about it in school.
They do not at all.
A bad credit score can affect everything in your life, and I mean everything.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And so you were talking about when they at the part, like if you're trying to buy an apartment or a car, they'll run your credit, and you said that brings a flag onto your credit score as well.
Yes. So when you go out, say you're shopping for a car, and you go to 3 different dealerships, and at every dealership they're running your credit. They're not just running your credit one time. They're running your credit through a system that's running your credit probably 5 or 6 times through different banks and companies.
Gotcha.
That is affecting your score. It's a hard hit on your score every time they do that. They're not going to tell you that.
Right.
They're going to say, hey, let's see what interest rate we can get you, blah, 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 blah. Give me your social security number. If you give it to them, they're running your credit. That's affecting it. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that they're going to run your credit when you go look for an apartment. So if you let them run your credit at 5 different apartments, then that's a ding on your credit. And that's, bumping it down a score too each time that they do that. A lot of people don't know that.
No, they don't.
Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that.
It's kind of like you kind of have to learn on your own, and it's like,
yes,
that's not something you want to learn on your own,
right? Because a lot of times if you're learning because something has happened, and now you're like, well, let me go look and see what's on my credit report, and then you look and you see all this stuff on there, and you're like, well, where did this come from? I didn't know that they did this. I didn't know that they ran this. Well, yeah, they're running your credit, so be very careful if somebody asks you for your social security number and tell you that they want to run your credit.
Gotcha.
But it happens to a lot of people when they're out searching for cars. A lot of people.
Yeah.
So just be very leery of, giving your social security number out to people, because they're probably going to use it to run your credit.
So you were talking about the harms, you can't really purchase anything. So when you have good credit, the benefits, what are they?
If you have good credit, you can pretty much get anything. If you want to go and get another credit card, you can get a credit card. And there you have it. But you may also be able to afford to pay that credit card off, or keep your monthly balance low. If you want to go out and get a car, your interest rate on that car is probably going to be lower, which in turn makes your monthly payment lower. If you want to get an apartment, as opposed to paying $250, $300 for a security deposit, if you have good credit, you may not have to pay a security deposit at all. But when you have bad credit, it makes you look like you're a risk. So they can't trust you. A lot of people, if they're going to take a risk on you, they're going to want something. So, okay, yeah, we'll let you stay in this apartment, but since you have bad credit, you're going to have to pay a security deposit of $500. Because they consider you as a risk. Now, things happen in life. You never know. You may not have been able to pay that bill because you were sick and you couldn't work, or you lost your job.
Gotcha.
But when you pay your bills late, that affects your credit. Because after 30 days or so, they're going to report it to the credit bureaus. And that's going to be another ding on your credit, and it's going to knock your score down for late payments. So, man, when I say credit is almost everything sometimes, it's
everything.
It's everything.
So when you're dealing with people that are trying to buy a home, like what is your experience with their credit scores? Like them not knowing or just giving them information?
I see this all the time where people will come to me, they have good jobs, Their incomes are great. They're already paying over $1,000, between $1,000 and $1,500 each month for rent. They can afford a mortgage payment.
Right.
But guess what?
They
don't have a 620 credit score. So they can't get a house. And I mean, there are some people, they've been working on their credit for a while now, trying to get that score up, but it can be hard. So it's not that they're financially unstable, it's that their credit is not where the bank thinks it needs to be.
And that's what the bank sees, that's what the dealership sees,
That's what everybody, that's what everybody sees. Whereas if you have 750, 800 credit score, all the doors are wide open. I mean,
come on
they're
in.
like, oh, this person is responsible. They pay their bills on time. I mean, you know, they're not out there just buying stuff on these credit cards, and be very leery of these store credit cards, because these cards have interest rates that are astronomical. I mean, you paying 25-30% on a $20 purchase that you paid on that card.
Ooh,
That's a lot of interest.
It is a lot. That sounds like a lot.
It sounds good when you in there and they're like, you know, you can get an extra 20% off today if you apply for this card, and you have the card and you study using the card, but you study got interest that's compounding, building. And so whereas you may have made $100 purchase, now you owe these people $300.
And that was not the plan.
It's not the plan. And so now you're looking like, well, I don't have that money to give to them. So you just got to be very, very, very careful. Very careful. And I didn't know that when I was young. Nobody talked to me about credit. And so you get a credit card and you like, I got this money.
I'm balling. I can go shop.
You know? No.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for the extra 15-20% off when they're trying to offer y'all these cards in these stores. Just say no. No.
Definitely. So, I wanted to hop off that subject, another one, which is a very big, broad subject. So, technology is been advancing so fast, and it's like the people who are that are being raised, like my little sister, people younger. I know you have a daughter. Raising them in this society, everything is accessible, like the touch of a button, like it's just there. And it's not censored like it used to be, and it's just out there for anybody to see. So what is your experience with raising someone in like this advanced world compared to like when I grew up? It wasn't really like that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit scary for me, knowing everything that is out there, knowing that not everybody is good, and you have people that are online on what's supposed to be a kid site, but they're an adult and they're posting stuff that's not kid friendly. It's scary. So I try my best to talk to my daughter about things, let her know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, monitor her when she is online, and she only can be online a certain amount of time.
Gotcha.
And I'm monitoring what she's on, and I have restrictions set on sites and stuff, so you can't go in there and just type in anything you want and go to that website. So I monitor, but I also talk to my daughter and let her know, okay, if you ever see this, you know that's not appropriate, or you know if you hear somebody saying XYZ, that's not supposed to happen. That's not, you know. That's not good. So I just try to talk to her, have her talk to me, let me know what's going on in her world. So I try to be, you know, very open and honest, because I know the reality is I can't keep her from everything. But at least if we have open communication, then I'll know what's going on, and I'm able to tell her, you know, no, baby, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Okay.
That's not okay.
So I know it's pretty difficult. Well, not difficult, but you know, the communication is key, because you know they go to school and it's like maybe these other kids they're not being censored.
You don't know what they're seeing.
And then they come to school with that. So I'm pretty sure that.
yeah, Mama so-and-so said XYZ. What does that mean? And you're like, wait a
Where
minute.
did you hear this from?
Little Johnny is 8 years old. What's going on at Little Johnny house? So wait a minute, what? And you will be surprised. These kids pick up on a lot of stuff and they're very smart. Like, never underestimate how smart kids are. And what they, can figure out and so you got to be careful, but I can't control what goes on in other people's homes. I can just talk to my baby and oh Jesus, it's scary.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, but
it's
not impossible to, raise someone up and,
just talk. Talk to your children. Talk. Make sure that you know what's going on in their world and just, talk to them about the dangers and everything that's going on. Stranger danger is real. Like, stranger danger that's for real.
People are getting snatched up, like, left
and right.
It is kind of scary.
Just talk to your babies. Make sure that they know what to do in certain situations. Like, regardless of how much we don't want to talk about stuff, sometimes you have to talk about stuff. Because I told my daughter, if you're ever put in this situation, this is what you need to do. Right. So she can know, okay, Mama said I need to do this. And you start fending for your life, baby. Yeah. So.
Exactly. So, yeah. It's a crazy world.
It is,
but we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through.
We're going to make it through. We've been making it thus far, but it's a lot different from when I was growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's a lot different.
And it's even different from when I was growing up. It has changed.
Yeah.
Me and my sister, the way we have grown up is, it was kinda the same, but now, like, the way I was in high school and stuff like that, it wasn't like that for me. So it's kind of different. And it's changing. It's changing quick, fast, every day.
It's like you got to keep up to know what's going on.
Yeah, you do have to keep up. It's crazy. So I want to talk about one last thing. I know another part of real estate is like the decorating and home design. So is that something that interests you? You kind of
I am not a decorator per se. I know what I like, and then I listen to my clients and stuff too. Like when we're walking through houses, I listen to see, kind of what's what. Like, does this go with this, or what they like? What do they like? What they don't like? I can do a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, but that ain't my field of expertise, but I can help you out a little bit there. But as far as, when someone is trying to sell a house, I do know how to navigate those waters, so to speak, to let you know, okay, what needs to be where, what, how it kind of needs to look. And some of that just, came from me being in the business, and then some of that came from things that clients would say when we were going through houses. And so I just took all that. I'm like, okay, so people really don't like this, but they do like seeing that. So I just make sure I listen real well.
Yes. Okay, that's good. So I want to thank you, Miss Marquita Fowler, for coming on to my podcast. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the interview. And so I hope that this was a cupful for you guys. Have a great week and be great, be productive, and I will see you on the next Kupfull with Kennedi.